The Leviatán box is packed full of exciting new Space Marine and Tyranid miniatures that will tell a great story. The contents of the Leviatán box are telling a story that's probably typical of any number of war zones across the Bastior subsector, which is the region of space that Norfolk of the battles in the early part of the Fourth Triangle War take place in. We can see a number of different Tyranid creatures, including assimilator beasts, eater beasts, creatures that typically only turn up towards the latter stages of a planetary invasion. The Space Marines have turned up with their own deep striking teleporting First Company strike force to disrupt and destabilise the Tyranid assault. This planet's probably already doomed, but if the Space Marines can effect victory, they can destabilise the Tyranids, they can drain the hive mind of biomass, they can force it to expend and waste resources, which is something that the hive mind never wants to do when it's conducting its invasions. If the Space Marines can't achieve victory here, it will spell doom not only for this world, but also for the Imperial armies trying to gather themselves and prepare for fresh waves of Tyranid assaults. The Space Marine strike force includes a number of First Company squads and characters. We've got a Stern Guard veteran squad who are equipped with a variety of different bolt rifles with specialist ammunition and combi weapons, so they can be targeting different Tyranid creatures and be sure of success. There's a Space Marine Terminator squad equipped with storm bolters, power fists and an assault cannon who are capable of mowing down many times their own number of Tyranid enemies. The strike force is led by a captain and a librarian in Terminator armour, allowing them to go toe-to-toe with enormous Tyranid monstrosities. And a ballistas dreadnought equipped with las cannons and missile launchers capable of taking out armoured organisms like a Carnifex. My favourite model in the box, and perhaps the most important member, is the Primaris Lieutenant, a representative of a previous expedition to this planet being recovered by this Space Marine strike force. So he is covered in trophies and improvised armour of defeated Tyranid creatures as he is fighting behind enemy lines for quite some time. If you prefer the idea of destroying, consuming the Imperium rather than fighting in its defence, the new Tyranid army in the Leviatán box has a whole host of new creatures, led by the Neurotyrant, a new type of synapse organism, a far more psychic creature than the existing Hive Tyrant, just as commanding, a little bit less combative, but a force magnifier for the shadow in the warp that precedes all the Tyranid invasions. The Neurotyrant is backed up by a winged Tyranid Prime as a bit of an enforcer, capable of flying in and dealing with any pesky Terminators that would threaten the synapse creature in charge of the swarm. And there are some bigger creatures. The Psychophage, Witch Eater, is an assimilator beast capable of consuming any biomass on the planet and kicking out all sorts of corrosive spores, but has a particular taste for psychic creatures, just like the Librarian in Terminator armor. And the Screamer Killer is perhaps the most iconic and recognisable representative of the Tyranid hive mind in this collection, a wonderful update to a classic design.